Well, lighting's not the best, you know.
Today is the Day podcast with me, Danny Malloy, and Jack Gray. Jack, what is happening, sir?
Hello, Daniel Malloy. What is happening, young man?
Absolutely nothing, sir, to be fair. What have you been up to?
The same old, same old. I've had a fight one of the, I'd say, surreal moments of my life this week. To be honest, it's very, very good week. In the books. Yourself?
Wow, what was so. Oh, I'll say my thing first, sure. Nah, but I've been up to. Ben was obviously fighting on Friday, so was doing his corner and stuff. So, but back to your surreal moment, Jack. What was your surreal moment of your life?
I got to be in the same room as the people I look up to within my industry, as well as interacting with everyone who are on the same wavelength as me. Do you ever hear that like where people talk about like you have these friends and then you don't really socialize with them because they have different benefits than just drinking and stuff like all the rest of it. I literally every conversation I had with any PT that was there, I literally connected with them straight away because they really had the same values, interests, and perspective on stuff as me. So I generally see networking with the people that you are like um networking with the people that are in the same field as you. It is insane. Like it's class.
What were the sort of things that you were talking about and you were connecting on so much?
The way they see stuff, like, is in I feel like in our industry or the people that was there, including myself, like we think more ahead than in the current moment or like behind, which is not necessarily a good thing, but I like to think ahead sometimes. I think it's a good thing most of the time anyway. But they think ahead. What interests, like, they like football, they like training, they like working on themselves, they like self development, they like they're not the typical, well, I wouldn't say, yeah, I'd say they're not the typical person, like, as in who just goes out every weekend, has a bit of crack, boom, boom, and then back to their normal 9 to 5 job. They're like living the lifestyle they want to live, being their own entrepreneur, while having a really good disciplined mindset, and like their outlook on stuff is very similar. With me, that's values, same interests. Uh, yeah, just literally everything that I would be interested in. I say 99.9% of them like had the same goals and aspirations and like as me, if you get me.
Yeah, what were some of the goals that they kind of had as you shared?
Well, financially, there were some goals that were sure, like in the sense that there's some people like making in that room alone. There's people making 100K months to £100 a month, like that. There was such a wide variety, but there was not one person who wasn't striving for more. There wasn't one person that wanted to get more, and it wasn't even not just money. Like, there wasn't one person in that room who didn't want to help more people. Um, Not one person in that room doesn't invest in themselves, as you can tell, because they obviously pay money to sign up to something like that, like myself. So they can all tell that every person in the room is willing to invest in themselves, not in other people, but themselves. Um, Everyone in that room, same goals wise, they all train. They all have the same goal in the sense that, right, they know if they don't train, they're going to feel like shit. They know if the benefits of training. They have the same values, the same like right. If I don't do this, this is what's going to happen. They all have the mindset in the sense that do what you feel good afterwards more of, and stop doing the things that feel good in the moment and shit afterwards. That was something I took away from the event that some guy, Daniel Dorgan, said. He says his exact words were, do more of what the thing you feel good afterwards. For example, if I go to the gym, I may not want to do it and it's shit, blah, blah. Afterwards, I feel fucking class. I eat shit food. It
Mm,
feels great. See, afterwards, doesn't feel so great. You know?
yeah. See, for context for the audience and people listening, what was the event you were at?
I don't think there's a word for it, but like the coaching thing I signed up to is called the coaching mentorship. So maybe it's called that. But yeah, the coach's mentorship.
So it was just everyone who's in like kind of the program and also the people who run the program were at the event kind of
Yeah.
taught.
There was all different people talking. So there would be like the guy who owns the fan. He's called Tony McAlevey, and he had his outlook on certain apps I can utilize to become better within my field. There was a guy who also is part of the who works at it. He does sales and marketing and stuff like that. Well, more sales, and he was thinking, how can I get more customers? How can I that kind of stuff. And then there was a guy called Helmy. I think that's his name. He came in and talked about how to interact with clients better, how to, make the clients feel like they're on the journey with you and not just by themselves kind of thing. And then there was a guy who came on who's not a part of the mentorship. He just got brought in. He does graphics and designs and stuff like that there. He was talking for a bit. So yeah, a lot of fucking value that I need to apply now. Like,
Yeah, see the way you're talking about the fellow was talking about the relationships with the clients. What was the kind of things he was talking about?
it's gonna say like one of the main things he's saying, that's something I said to you about in the last podcast, is like he sets himself standards for clients, but he also has his own. So, he doesn't tell a client to do something that he wouldn't do or like he hasn't been through. For example, if he's lean cutting someone, like I mean like going to the point where he is literally in peak shape for like I don't know, a photo shoot or whatever it is, like because he's already been through that experience before, he wouldn't get someone else to do it if he hadn't been, but he has. So basically when they get to the stage where they're on their like, I don't know, 1 week out or maybe 2 weeks out, and they're getting to the point where they're literally like kind of want to kill themselves. They're literally starving themselves. Like and a bit days they get to the point where they generally like, this is shit, I don't want to do it. He basically reassures them because he's been through it before. Like, this is what hard is meant to feel like. This is like normal to feel like. It's not meant to be easy, and that's why people can't do that kind of thing. So he's been through it. And he understands that this is what it's meant to feel like. Just keep going. Well, you're near there kind of thing. But yeah, he just talks about basically like making the process feel like you're on the journey with him and they're not by himself. He keeps them accountable. Make sure you're there whenever they need you, and it's not just like just show them that you actually care. Like, do you know what I mean that way? Like if a client doesn't text you back, you'd say go on a different platform, text them, ring them, make sure they actually know like listen, I'm fucking here for you. I'm my job is to be there accountable for you, and I want to be there for you. So it just reassures them quite a lot kind of thing that way.
Yeah. So obviously tomorrow, Jack, Monday, the 27th of November, your 21 day Santa shred challenge commences. Does that mean what you just said there? Does that mean you're going to be doing it with everyone?
No, this is the free Santa shred one. So don't get me wrong, I will be reaching out to people. I will be supporting maybe people that might need a wee bit of uplifting. But in saying that, I've got 2 groups now. So I've got one that actually pay me money to actually like provide that service, if you get me. So I will be making sure that they get the way they will be. In the same sense, the free one, that's not me saying that I won't be, taxing people and thinking, hey, how are you getting on and stuff like, are you finding it tough doing the calories? Are you finding what calories are you on at the minute? Are you enjoying it? It's not to say I won't be giving some source of accountability, but the free challenge is essentially there for like everyone to participate, have a bit of crack while doing a wee bit of fitness, and just overall, but the main reason why I've done it is obviously to get back to people, but also to start to enjoy the journey and the process along with other people actually doing it as well. Because if they're doing it by themselves, I don't know about yourself, I'm maybe the same, but when I go to a class, I know that I've looked around me doing the same thing, like fuck, you know what, these all do it, why can't I? But if I go myself to the gym or like something like that, I'm like, oh, there's no one really I can like, keep me accountable. But if they see the whole group, doing the steps, doing the things, send them in, they're like, oh right, yeah, you know what? He's doing it. Why can I not do it? So I've wanted to create a group that's free that I can actually give back to the people while getting them back to enjoying the training while having a bit of challenge, because who doesn't like a bit of competition?
Yeah, I was speaking about this the other day too. I think it was Cameron. I'm not too sure about what are some of the challenges. There's like push-up challenges and things, isn't there?
Yes. So week 1, right? Week 1 is I've actually sent it. I don't know if you watched the video there. I sent it in there. Was at the beach. So week 1 is where you go to the gym and you send in a photo, right? If you're in the gym, send #gym day 1 / say you're going 3 days that week, you write 3. Right? But say you're going 5 times, you write 1 out of 5. And you do that for the 5 days until you get up to 5 out of 5 if you don't go to the gym 5, or it's 3 times, 2 times, 1, whatever it is, right? That's week 1. Now, and saying that, the step challenges for the whole way through the whole thing. So on Monday, you'll be doing steps. On the Tuesday, you would send in Monday steps, you know what I mean, for on the Tuesday. And that's going to be for the first week. And then the second week, the challenge number 2 is push-ups. So every day for 7 days of the second week, you do push-ups to failure, right? Record it, obviously. Do features of failure, whack it in the group chat for 7 days, one set per for 7 days. Week 3 is just the steps, so all you do is the steps, but instead you can continue doing the photos in the gym and the push-ups if you desire to, and if you do, then here might be a greater chance of winning more prizes because you've competed the most within the challenges. But yeah, I'm going to actually, fingers crossed, everyone sticks to it. I'm going to add up the steps, who got the most steps, who didn't, stuff. I think that'll be more of competitive stuff.
So the prizes that you're offering for it is just going off based off of stats, because see with the push-ups I was talking about it, as I said to Cameron, and obviously there is boys and girls in the group. So would the push-up challenge be particularly fair if that counts towards the final prizes?
I would think, but no. Well, the thing is, right? It's not just the steps. It's not just it's everything as a whole. And I know what you're saying in the sense that if he does more push-ups, no, it's just competing. It's not even like getting the most; it's competing. So if you're like consistently doing it, it doesn't matter if you're the best. If you're not getting the most push-ups and you're not getting the most steps, as long as you're showing up. So showing up is the main thing within this process. Like I want to create a wee bit of habits within these 21 days. Try to create a habit. Anyway, so for example, if you're doing a push-ups and you're not able to do a push-up, go on the hands and knees obviously instead to do the push-ups. It does not matter how much push-ups you do. It does not matter how much steps you do, as long as you compete and do the best of your ability. Whack it in the group chat. Whoever stays consistent enough with doing it, and it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're doing it and trying your best within it, that is ultimately who will win the prizes. Who is willing to be consistent within the challenges.
Oh, so like the winner's based off of consistency, and it's like kind of down to your discretion who sees the most improvement and the most.
Yes, so essentially, who's willing to stay consistent and actually like try their best. It's not so like everyone gets caught up in I'm the best, I got the most steps, I got the most this. But what about the people actually trying to be the best, consistently doing the best? One day you can be the best, but the next day you can be the worst. Who's going to be consistently trying their best to improve on themselves, not looking at everyone else, trying to consistently be better. So if I do 5 push-ups, I might do 6 the next day, or next week I might do 10. Or I might get 1,000 steps a day. Oh, had a bad day, right? Consistently only got 10,000 steps in total this week. That's shit. Next week, here, guess what? I got 20,000 this week. So add it up all the year, that kind of way.
Yeah. Do you just want to sign me up to the paid month of personal training now then?
Well, the difference between the two are that it's more, you get more of a tailored nutrition plan with that, and then on top of that, you get a way more accountability. Check-ins. If you've seen Check-in Tuesdays, you would write under the comments. I go way in depth about this. So a man, actually comment. There's actually an app that I have just started to recently use. I'm going to use something different instead of Google Sheets, but essentially you fill it out in the app, and I do a Loom video. What that is just me, a video of me talking over your check-ins, and I go in depth with each thing. Right, you've got this. And by the way, when I mean by depth, I mean, for example, I would make wee tweaks to your dad. If like, oh right, you're actually not losing weight this week, I need to move down this. That kind of stuff. With this free challenge, obviously I'm not going to go in depth, and you're not going to get like that. But I am going to obviously do my best, that way. Also with the app that I'm currently actually working on right now, you also get your own tailored training program, so it's not just a broader niche. Although, in saying that, them training programs I've sent in are very good in the sense that they will get results, like 100%. These ones are just a wee bit more tailored in the sense that, for example, I replied to one of your comments. Danny commented, what would be a 4 or 5 day for him specifically. So, for example, if your goal, for example, was to work your chest and triceps and improve your chest, and you want to work your triceps more, and you want them to be stronger and etc., and you wanted to work on them improvements, so you could do something like that 3-day split. But then you could also do a chest day, and then the next after tricep day, or combine them together, etc., and do something like that. But basically, what it is, say you wanted to work on them muscle groups specifically, what you want to do is add more volume to them and take away maybe volume from stuff that you necessarily don't want to work as much, or just add more volume on the thing, because essentially they're the muscle groups you want to work. So without or within that, you're going to get more progress within them. Muscle groups. So yeah, it's just there's just a wee bit more to it, if you get me. But yeah, it's sick. Also, there's also meetups within my paid one. There's also more prizes to be won. There's just a wee good bit more, to be honest, like there is. But at the end of the day, this challenge I'm doing is completely not one penny that you have to pay, and there's so much more to it in the sense it's guide challenges. And I don't know if you've had a wee look, but there is quite a decent bit of knowledge for free wise. For free, you might not get that anywhere else for free. Like, I mean, there's quite a lot of knowledge there. Like,
No, definitely, I completely agree. I was looking at him, was kind of blown away with how much knowledge was in the group as well. Um, I was going to say something else, right? So this podcast that we're speaking on right now will be coming out 5 days into the challenge. So, say after 5 days, there's people struggling, and they're listening to this podcast. What would you say to them?
Well, more than likely they're struggling. They haven't set clarity. So clarity builds conviction. So clarity, how much steps do you actually want to get done? So for example, if you're on day 5 right now currently and you're struggling to get steps in, right? Set the standards for yourself, right? I'm only getting 1,000 a day, right? You know what? Next week, I want to get 1,500 consistently for them 7 days next week. Something like that. Just wee tweaks. Doesn't have to be, 1,000 to 10,000. Be smart about it. So strategically, I can't separately, slowly bring it up. Another tip I would give them, if it is steps that they are, well, that's the main challenge. Like, so, if they are struggling with the steps, you know, I know you might be in work 3 days, you might get 10-minute breaks, 10 minutes there. If you say you get a half hour break, 10 minutes walk, trust me, they add up massively. It's something that I've actually implemented recently, and trust me, they add up. Push-ups, if you're struggling with push-ups, if you feel like, oh, I can only do 2 push-ups, do the hands on the hands, or cross the legs over, go on the knees and push down. Regarding foes in the gym, if you're a bit nervous, shy, and you're not, you might feel a bit like, oh, I don't really want to do that because, so-and-so, take a photo of as long as you're wearing different gym gear, take a photo of gym gear and I'll show yourself in the gym while you're sitting down, show the gym while you're hanging. Push-ups, you might be scared to send a video in. Maybe that's what it is. You might be too scared to send a video if you doing push-ups. Look, everyone in that group is specifically joined to better themselves and to challenge themselves. So they will not care about what you're doing. Worry about what you're doing rather than other people. Because at the end of the day, you're all in together. You're all going to be doing it. It's not just one person doing it. Oh, I'm not going to do it because, you know what I mean? So, like, no one really cares. No one generally cares. Trust me, we're in that group, uplift each other, not degrade each other. That would be the word. I can't really describe the word, but they're up there to improve each other, not derail each other, kind of thing. And yeah, that's just the main tips I would give for now. But now there might be some struggle with, right. Jack, you said for check-ins, you said carry goal. What kind of carry goal are you on? Well, what you would need to do is go on the guide section, look how is it to lose weight, how to gain muscle, right? Watch them videos, right? It will tell you, right, I need how to lose weight. I need to take away 3,000 or 300, 500 calories, depending on what it is. Look into it that way, kind of thing, and look at what it is, your maintenance, how to work out your maintenance. Watch videos on YouTube, 100% they'll be there. But from them videos that you watch, they'll give you the knowledge you need to be able to implement how much calories you should be on. And if you're not, why not give me a message? Shoot me a message on Messenger. That is your thing. Shoot me a message, and I will be more than happy to help you out.
Yeah. See, with the you spoke about with the consistency aspect of it, about sending like a selfie when you're in the gym. Obviously, there might be like a few people in the group who are students and whatnot, and either can't afford to go to the gym, or like there may be people who can't go to the gym for some reason or other. Would you allow kind of at home workouts to be act as a gym selfie as well?
100,000,000%, and that is there's actually now you can create your own one. Go by all means, go ahead. But there's also a home workout one there within the group. So there's a 3-day full body split for female and male. But there's also a at a home workout too there. So more than happy enough for you to take a photo of you at home doing workouts. More than happy. But as long as there actually is proof that you're actually doing it, at the end of the day, you get nowhere land. So it's up to you. Like, do you mean, winners win, losers complain. You get nowhere cheating, you know what I mean?
Yes, but you're just cheating yourself at the end of the day. I want to talk about the 10,000 steps. When you kind of like watch any content related to fitness, anywhere you go, the number always seems to be 10,000 steps. What's 10,000? Why 10,000?
That's a really good question. I'd actually love to know why it is 10,000, because from my perspective anyway, from myself and people I've talked to and, networked with, my grasp is, and my opinion on this is that, if you're averaging out 5,000 steps every day across 7 days, up it by 2,000, maybe 7,000 instead, this big gap, you have to go up to 5 or 10,000 every day is a load of nonsense in my opinion. Like, it's not like, it's just not sustainable for most people. Something not about fit. Most people anyway. Yeah, well, most people have a desk job. If you have a desk job, like it can be very hard. So,
Yeah.
I would say start off small, as I talk about a lot, small wins, but momentum. But yeah, start off small, save average 5,000, up to 6,000, up to 7,000. Slowly regraduate. Don't be just going from 5,000 to 10,000 straight away. You're ultimately setting yourself up for failure that way.
Yeah, I did a bit of research about this podcast before the podcast, sorry, and the 10,000 steps originally comes from during the 2008 Beijing Olympics in China. The athletes had a challenge, like an unwritten challenge to hit 10,000 steps a day, and I think since then that's where the 10,000 steps came from. But do you think there is much difference, as you said, between like say 7,000 steps or 10,000 steps in terms of like calories exerted?
Um, probably not much at all. To be fair, like see most things we do. Well, put it this way: there's a thing called I think it's called NEAT calories, right? Or NEAT. And that sadly stands for like what's it? I can't remember the exact. Fuck, I can't even remember the meaning behind NEAT. But it basically means like you burn calories training, right? And that's only about 10% of your calories that you burnt that day. Your daily movements, what you normally do, from your body functioning. As soon as you wake up, you could literally not move all day, and you will burn calories. Like that's and then there's also ones for like your daily activities, like I don't know, like you're going to walking, getting up, writing. So there's loads of ways to burn calories, but I wouldn't worry about the training aspect of it in the sense you don't burn as much as like you only burn 10% or 100% roughly around 10-20%, so it's not that much like.
Yeah. Jack, when you rang me this morning, you what was it you done, lad? You went down at the wrong time or something. What were you cold water swimming this morning?
Yes. So science test was happening, right? So I got told in the group that it was 8 o'clock, and it is still written down for 8 o'clock. So I showed up at 8 o'clock for I swim with the mentorship with all the people. Turns out no one was there. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be a bitch. Fuck it. If everyone else has slept in, I'm gonna go do it. So I went down. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it. Went in. I was like, I was standing there in the water, and I'm thinking down fully. I was like, I can't do this. Fuck this. But you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm not coming down here to just half do something. I was like, fuck that. I'm not a bitch. So I was like, fuck it, I'm getting in fully. So I got in fully, and see when I was sitting there with the shoulders, underneath the shoulders here, and looking about, see the calmness of the rain. No one's about. Pitch, like no one was about. It was just clear water, bit foggy to fair, but it was just so peaceful. I was like, mate, this is fucking sick. Like the first minute I was fight or fight, like, but after I was like, mate, this is sick. Full body in, got out. And I was talking about earlier about, do stuff more and how you feel afterwards, not during. I felt like absolute hell during. I was like, oh, this is a bit like, out of my comfort zone. I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. After I'm like, oh my God, I feel class. What the hell? My energy levels are like, even now, right now, we're sitting at what, 10 to 3 on a Sunday. And my energy levels haven't went down at all. Like normally I have on a decrease by now, but I feel like they've actually, stay quite like slow instead of like boom, you know what I mean? So yeah. But anyway, so I was on the way out, and you'll never guess what happened. On the way out, and one of the guys had text about going shows up, and I was like, oh, what's happening, mate? Look around the corner. Oh, there's another 5 people. I was like, oh no. So I started talking to the lads. My mentor showed up, Tony and Daniel. Daniel goes to me, Jack, you're getting it again. I was like, wait, what? I'd already got it. And he was like, lad, if someone had a gun to your head, would you jump in? And I go, so obviously, and goes, well, you're jumping in again, so no. So I was like, oh, mate. So I got in. And you know what? It was easier. And you know why it was easier? Because I had people around me doing the same thing.
Mm.
Do you know the power of having we were talking about the tribe thing and all that? We had people around me all doing the same thing. So it took me 2 seconds getting. We all ran in. Seen it by himself, walked in. Oh, I have a tribe beside me. I'm getting in. They're getting in.
Yeah.
I'm by myself. And so, and you know that thing where people say about it's what you do when no one's watching?
Yeah.
Imagine what you could do. Imagine you've done that when no one was watching. What would happen? If you don't with the tribe, imagine what you're doing without the tribe. If you do that together, powerful things can happen. Like
100%. You talked about being uncomfortable and like being in a level of discomfort. How important do you think it is to kind of be uncomfortable and like seek discomfort in order to achieve things?
I think, I think, to be honest, you will not get anywhere without getting us out of comfort zone at all. Like in my opinion, there's no way that you're gonna get your desired. Like maybe if you don't have big aspirations, maybe. But see if you have big aspirations, whatever they may be, or you may think they're big, you know, you will not get there if you don't get outside your comfort zone. And you know, getting outside comfort, it just builds strength in you. Like, you know, you feel like, see when you get past something that you like, oh, I can't do that. See when you get past that, I'm class. Look, yo, if I can do that, why can't I do this next? Boom, boom, boom. And it builds up, and you're like, mate, now you're at the point where like here, and then you look back, Joe said, and you're like, mate, I could be doing so much. Look how much more I've done. Look how much more, all the things I was scared to do. Look, like you've overcome. You know what I mean? They just build so much mental strength up here. When you do stuff that you don't necessarily, you know, think. For example, I want that mentorship, and I'm not like I would say I'm alright talking to people I don't know, but you know, I was a bit nervous, but see, once you start talking and the more people you talk to, you realize, you know, everyone's in the same boat as you. Or like, for example, it's not as bad as you think. It's all about getting the reps in. Me and you, Danny, talk about it a lot. Getting the reps in. The more reps you get in, the easier it becomes. The more comfortable you get with it, and then you need to find something that's even more challenging and more challenging, more challenging. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever get when you have like a really productive day or a week, say, why do our brains like kind of always attack us and like make us have this like sense of insecurity that we could always be doing more? Like, do you get that?
Yeah, no, I'll 100% get that. I think one of the lads was actually talking about that today, and it's more like, you know, um, like he was actually he was talking about it in the sense of a running scenario. He was like, you know, why is it when we get at a certain distance, our like whole body's telling us not to do it anymore, but like we can still do it? Like, why is that? And he was basically saying that, you know, with like that, with beating your mind in the sense of like, yes, my mind doesn't want to do it, but I'm still going to do it anyway. The strength you like build from doing stuff like that is crazy. But why is it actually happens? I actually don't know. I feel like, you know, I feel like the more times you get outside of that, in the sense like, right, your body's telling you not to do it, but the more times you don't listen to what it's telling you and you keep doing it, the more your like frame changes and like, you know what, you've already done this before. You already this guy in your head's already been talking to you before and told you couldn't do it, but guess what? You already done it, so why can't you do it again? He's talking to you again. Why can't you go, you know, not listen to him and go going? But I don't know why people why that happens, but I feel like it's very normal. Danny, why do you think that happens? I'd be intrigued to think of your opinion of it.
I think it is like a survival mechanism, like with you what you talked about with the cold water, and basically, our brains are conditioned to give up like 50%, even though our bodies are capable of 100%. As in, like, in order to survive, like going back, I know I talk so much in this podcast about the primal brain, but like it's so significant when it comes to our behavioral traits and like our thoughts and our processes that go on within our head. So I think it does revert back to like it's a survival mechanism in a sense, like your brain is in conditioned to do hard things, even though your body is, because obviously as humans we always we will seek comfort over discomfort any day of the week. But obviously as we became more, what's the word, aware of this, you even getting in the cold water, it's like goes back to like the know what say Chris Williams talks about a lot. It's about and Joe Rogan about it's about just layers and layers of paint to build a mountain. Do you know what I mean? So like each time you prove yourself wrong and prove your brain wrong, you're building another layer of undeniable proof that you can do the things that you want to achieve. So, but yeah, I do think it's down to the human brain, and we talked about obviously when you always feel like you could be doing more, it's just back to the primal brain. Do you know what I mean? It's just like the human, like as humans, our brains are going to conditioned to be workers. Do you know what I mean? But in today's age, we can get the dopamine that we would get from hard work instantly with the likes of technology, like drink and drugs and whatever it may be. So I think that's where our brain has become confused. Where like, why would I sit and spend say this much time working to achieve? It's like prolonged gratification where I can get instant gratification if I just go sit on TikTok for like 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Which always ends up being about 5, 6, 7 hours all day.
That's the difference between the good and the great.
What is?
That time horizon where they think they can get stuff instantly. If they look at stuff like instead of 1 year gap, why not look at it in a 5 year gap? And that's something that I'm trying to get my head around at the minute. I'm always looking at, oh, where can I be in 1 year's time? Where can I be in 1 week's time? Where can I be in 1 month's time? But where can you? Why are you looking at like, oh, in 1 year I'm gonna have this much money? Why not looking in a 5 year gap? Right, I'm gonna make this much in 5 years. And what are them inputs that are guaranteed no matter what? If you stick that for 5 years, what is the chances of you not getting there if you do it for 5 years? Stop looking at a 1 year thing. Think at a 5 year thing. If you do them daily inputs for them 5 years without missing one day, whatever it is, what's the odds? What's the chances of you not getting there? And I back them odds that them odds should be very, very like in your favor. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like I and myself as well. I think people, including myself, need to stop looking at that timeline and start looking at it in like a more broader field within that thing.
Yeah, I really like that point. That point. Sorry, you just brought up there. I don't know if you've watched about Stephen Bartlett talking about how he builds all his like businesses and projects for longevity. Obviously, as humans, we have a very short term mindset because, and I know I'm going to say it again, it goes back to the primal brain. But I think obviously you could go out tomorrow and win the lottery, but yeah, you may have X amount of money, but you won't be able to like create more money with that. You know what I mean? But if you build processes with longevity in mind, that you can set yourself up for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And as well, like something that I've learned that over this weekend as well is that people. I was around people that were making put it this way, more money than I've ever had in my bank account in 1 month. They're making that, and I'm sitting around, but you can tell just by being around them, they're not there just for the money. They have a why, they have a meaning behind the money. They know why it is they want to get there, and it's not just about money. Like they have, yes, obviously they want to have goals and aspirations to get more money, but the main driving factor behind it is not because of the money; it's the why behind it. Right? If I don't put in these daily things, what is the thing? What is going to happen if I don't start doing this? I'm not going to be able to help the clients that I want to help. I'm not going to be able to pay for my family's holiday coming up soon. I'm not going to have to go work for someone else I don't want to work for. I'm not going to be able to, there's so much like driving factors behind, the why more than the money. Do you know what I mean? If you get me?
Yeah.
There's more to it than they're not doing just for the money. There's just way more to it than just.
Yeah, so see, speaking about that, Jack, right? Just I want to ask a question. So obviously, surround yourself and being in the right environment is massive to success in any industry. Obviously, as we see, like people who aspire to be actors, they go to LA, or like people who like aspire to be like say stockbrokers, to go to London or New York for like the stock exchanges. Where do you think would be the best location for you to be in order to become like the best personal trainer?
In order for me to become the best personal trainer, and this can be applied to any field, in my opinion. I know for a fact you agree with me on this here because we've talked about it in the past. But any industry you're in, look at the person who's way ahead of you. Either copy what they're doing or get advice from them, or try to get them as a mentor. Boom, get them. And you know what? Then as soon instead of you being behind them, you'll slowly creep up to maybe even the same, if not more, because they've taught you that much. Then move on to the next person who's higher than him. Boom, and then keep going up the ladder like that. So always look for someone who's ahead of you, and try to get mentorship from them, and then move up to the next one, and keep going. And remember, as well, once you gain them skills from the people, it doesn't matter if you have no money in the bank account. You have the skills to make the money. Even if I'd rather have the skills to make the money than have 1 million. I'd rather have the skills to make the money than have £1 million in my bank account, because £1 million sometimes can't last forever unless you're smart about it, I suppose. But the skills, they are for life. They are gonna, like, no matter what, you will be grand. Like in life, you will 100% be sweet as long as you got the skills.
Yeah, there was a saying that my mum used to always say to me about education. She used to always be like, and my grandma said to her was always about like, they could, what was it? It went something like this: they can take away your house, they can take away your job, they can take away your car, but the only one thing that they can't take away is your education and your knowledge.
100%, and that's only something that I've sadly only got to terms with like over the past year. To be honest, I've never been educational in the sense I've thought, fuck this, I can't do this, I can't do that, but I haven't given it a go. So like, and now I'm realizing, flip, education actually, you're right, what you just said there, like, fuck, you're really all right. Like I need to start, investing in myself. I need to start like learning and stop, wasting time, like that kind of stuff. That's only something I only start to realize recently.
There's a quote about education that I've kind of fell in love with. Recently it goes, it is formal education will make you a living, but self education will make you a fortune.
Seen that one actually recently. Yeah, that's fact. You want to, it's here, it's bang on too. I want to just change up the wee subject just a wee bit. So me and Danny's friend, Ben McCourt was fighting there recently. Actually Friday. How did Ben get on? What happened within the fight? And break it down for me.
No, yeah. So I was doing his corner. Obviously, it was a really good, like a very good, a well matched fight, right? Obviously, Ben came out and landed some heavy hands to the boy, but the boy clinched them right, and he did like a hip throw, whatever way Ben landed, it completely ripped his shoulder out of his socket, lad, of his like his shoulder, and it's completely dislocated, lad. And he got back up, lad. His arm was absolutely mangled. So obviously the fight got stopped for that, unfortunately. But he did perform very well. He looked very well in what lasted within the fight. But yeah, he completely tore his arm out of his shoulder. Absolutely disgusting to look at.
That's something that I really don't like to hear, in the sense that, anyone that knows Ben McCourt, is his name. Anyone that knows our friend Ben McCourt knows that he's in some serious shape, and he has been consistent. He has been active, and he has been putting in the fucking work. Like, so, if there's ever a guy that deserves to be winning and deserves to be thing, it's him. But Ben, and I know Ben. He'll get up and he'll get back to work as soon as that shoulder's back. He'll be all over it. Like, he is the type of guy not let stuff hold him back anymore. I feel like maybe in the past he might have been, but now he does not let stuff hold him back. He's like, you know what, I'm doing it, and you know what, I don't care what anyone thinks, kind of thing. And he's getting that stage. But yeah, he is. He will get back at it, and he will come back stronger. So.
100%. I think it's one of them ones that you can just take as a lesson. Do you know what I mean? It's a good. It's obviously it's not a good thing that happened, but it's kind of a good thing it happened so early in, say, his career of like fighting. You know what I mean? So he can prepare and have like systems in place to deal with situations that happen like that. So I think it's a good thing that it happened so early, but I don't think it's a good thing that it happened, obviously, you know what I mean? But it's his amateur career. Amateur career kind of is just about building as much experience as you can. And obviously, once you go pro, your record gets wiped anyway. So when I speak to him, he obviously he aims to go pro at some point. So I think it is a beneficial thing that it did happen so early, you know what I mean? So he can kind of fix anything that may have caused that, like, in terms of that.
Yeah, it's good that he's getting some competition though, because recently he's just been battering the people. But
Mm.
Danny, I want to ask you this question, and I want the audience will want to know this question. When is the return of Daniel Malloy coming back to the ring?
See, to be honest, Jack, I'm gonna say the new year. I want something in the new year. To be fair, I just need the proper. I know I always talk about my knee, but yeah, I need to have the system, like the correct systems and training in place in order to get back and be fully committed to it. You know what I mean? Be all in. I've just had a lot of other things that I've been focusing on.
Clarity builds conviction.
Exactly, brother.
Uh,
Exactly.
I'm actually fighting. Not fighting. Well, kind of. Well, I am fighting, but it's a club show. It's not really like no one wins, no one loses. But my opponent has changed because Dylan hasn't been going to training. Probably not just because that, to be honest, because he punched the head of me. But no, I'm not fighting a guy called Connell. Connell's a legend, like really, really good lad. Serious.
Connell who?
Um, Connell, Big C.
Big C. Oh yeah,
Big
Connell
C.
Hanna.
If anyone, yes, everyone knows kind of Han. So I haven't even sparred yet. I still haven't sparred once. I bought a gum shield there yesterday, but I still haven't even sparred once. So hopefully it's even enough matchup. Hopefully, and we'll just get better. We're gonna actually motivate each other and push on to get better and stuff. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm actually very excited because I actually have been enjoying boxing recently, but I haven't got dig to the face yet. So I want to get punched to the face more, like so I do. To be honest.
Fair. Here, completely different topic, Jack. Right. I just wrote this question because I remembered we asked Cameron it on the podcast. Jack, what's your biggest fear? Would you say?
Not getting to where I want to be.
Mm.
Do you want me to be more specific? To be more specific, not actually getting to my full potential, because in my eyes, in most in anyone's eyes, in my eyes, anyone has the potential to get the way I want to be, whatever that may be. But I just feel I have so much potential to give out, but I know I have the ability. But for me to sit here and tell you I'm not scared or fear that I might actually get to where I want to be, in the sense that, be able to, buy my mummy and daddy stuff before they, are no longer here, or like, hire my sisters to work for me and stuff. And, I want to reach that. That's my biggest fear, not to be able to do the things that I said I was going to do. And it is scary process, but it is. I'm scared of, because I don't, I'm fearful, like, if I don't do that. So yeah, but yeah, I probably need to get more clear on what that actually is, what it is I exactly want. I think that's something I need to get to come to terms with. What is it I exactly want? Not certain things. What is it, like, down to a T? I think that's something I need to get more clarity with. What is your biggest fear?
I would be completely in the exact same boat as you, to be fair, about not achieving a certain level of success that I strive for so much, to know what I mean, and so I can be supportive, like you just spoke about, towards my family and my friends, you know what I mean, and be able to have like a good impact on their life and be a beneficial member, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely that there. Then just, yeah, the success, so I can be a strong masculine figure within, like, say, obviously my family, and also like the family that I'm going to have in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I want my kids to be proud of me. Like, not
Yeah,
just some guy, casual guy in the street. He just, didn't stand up for himself, didn't go from what they wanted to go for. I'd rather be making, I'd rather make less money, or just be making enough money to live, doing the thing I actually want to do, than, be making, I don't know, 10K a month, 100K a month, doing something I don't want to do, and being stuck in that, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I think that's something that, me, not, well, personally, I think that's something that me and you have in common, compared to most people around our age, or like around us. I feel like you and yours are fearful for, we know we have potential. Like, we know we have potential. Some people don't know they have potential, even though they do. But we actually know we do have the potential. It's just where are scared in case we don't get that stage.
yeah. For anyone listening, also just for a bit of interaction, comment your biggest fears in the comments of this podcast, and we'll get back to them. We'll talk. We'll speak to you as well. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Here. So, me and Danny are, well, I think, well, it's not nearly set in stone anyway. We're going to do a 75 hard challenge, hopefully. It's not set in stone yet, but we need to make some non-negotiables for ourselves. In the comments, write what they should be. What should me and Danny both partake in a non-negotiable, and we'll pick one out of the comments.
Yeah.
So
Within reason.
yes, within reason.
We will not be running like 26 miles every day or some shit.
All right. So, Danny, it's getting to that stage where I'm going to be going out for my sister's birthday. It's my wee sister's birthday here. So we're going to get to the point where we're wrapping up here. But, Danny, I want to know, what is your biggest struggle of the week?
My biggest struggle of the week would be being consistent this week. You know what I mean? I've actually struggled massively, but I think it's just I'm trying to work out what it's down to. I think it is just lack of discipline in certain aspects. You know what I mean? But which is completely my fault. But that will be fixed. And obviously, you're going to ask me my biggest win of the week. The biggest win of the week would probably me and Cameron. Obviously, we're setting up a dropshipping store. Well, I kind of got on to a call with two fellas who run very successful very successful drop shipping stores, right? So we've kind of decided to pivot and change our product and create a new product. Just because the last one didn't have enough wow factor, so we've switched product. We're currently in the process of rebuilding building that store up. So I think a step in the right direction would be my biggest win this week.
That is a huge step. That's a massive win this week, actually. And you know what's mad? You said in the last podcast, our big wins will be coming. Maybe it's 2 podcasts ago. And guess what? That is a huge win. As we were to me and you talk about a lot, we need to be interacting with people ahead of us in the game, and that's what it sounded like. And you know what's mad as well? Although me and Danny are on different online business paths, we are actually on the same journey without it raising it, in the sense that I've actually just changed up something. I'm now changing on to my own I'm actually in the process of making my own coaching up now instead of doing the thing, and that's now what he's done. He's now changed his business model. I've now changed my business model. So it's, you know, it's mad. We're two different paths, but very similar paths. You know what I mean? So
Jack,
go ahead.
what is your biggest win and your biggest challenge? Start with the challenge first, then give me your biggest win.
So
Finish on a positive note.
My biggest challenge of the week would be not getting everything I've planned out done this week. So I still have a couple hours left after dinner, hopefully here. But there's quite a lot of stuff I need to get working on, because I've been away to Fant this week and I've, you know, all the rest of it. But excuses like, so yeah, I'm behind like yourself consistency wise. So yeah, that would be one of the major factors. Biggest win of the week, realizing that I have a hell of a lot more potential than I thought, and you know, there is fucking opportunities out there if you're willing to, you know, invest in yourself and put in the work. So yeah, that's a big one for me. I've realized, fuck, it is possible. I'm around people that can do it. Why can I not do it? And they're literally, you know, I've realized it. But Danny, before we let that go, what is your quote of the day?
My quote of the day is, "It is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change."
Never heard that one, you know. It's a new one.
I like it. I do like it. I don't even know who said it. I think it might have been Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth, right. So I'm trying to find all right. So my quote of the day, right? It's similar to what me and Danny were literally talking about in the sense about fear, but stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited about what could go right. So, you know, me and Danny are fear about, you know, not really reaching our potential, but we need to start being maybe more excited on what could go right, in the sense that we could and will get to where we want to be. So, yeah.
Anything else to say, Jack?
I'm going to go and enjoy my family dinner with my sister, and, you know, for anyone out there, just, for anyone listening, keep fucking believing, keep plugging away. You know, it's coming. You know, your time will come, but it's not going to come. You know, do you ever hear that saying about the guy that chips away for the goal and then just stops chipping when he's this close away without even knowing it? You know,
Yeah.
don't be that guy. Just keep chipping, and soon it'll happen.
You never know how close you actually are to a massive breakthrough.
You know, all it takes is one post, one interaction, one talk, one sale, whatever it is. Keep plugging away. Danny, anything else to leave it up to?
No, I think what you said is a great thing to leave it on. But today is the day podcast. It has been an absolute pleasure. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Get back to the grind.
Woo!